Ben was really scary, honestly, because that costume is very real, and when you have a massive chimp sitting on you, pounding on you, scratching you, obviously not actually happening, but it's heart-racing. You can look forward to a feral, jaw-dropping experience that will leave you at the edge of your seat, biting your nails. Honestly, just good luck, because it's a wild ride. I think he just kind of allowed us to really work with Ben and to really find a connection. And I think he was very much just wanting us to live in the moment and imagine us in that scenario, because it's such a foreign scenario, we would never be there. But I think with the set and with Ben on top of us, I think we managed to find a kind of solace in that and being in that moment. It was amazing.
It's the rowdiest movie experience I have ever had. With one of my movies or with any movie, it just causes a reaction, screaming and shouting, and it's just a communal experience. So it's meant for the big screen. We all had to come in and believe in this world, but the crazy, because it was an old school practical movie and the chimp was a guy in a suit, they had to come in and feel that. But the way that Miguel, who played the chimp, became the chimp, it really drove them to drove the realism. But they were an incredible group of people that had to, it was a real relentless shoot. They had to be in water all the time. They had to constantly be battling. So it was they had to have real stamina. But it was great, and working with Troy, having an Oscar-winning actor, he just brought such a beauty to his role and to the whole family dynamic. This is a roller coaster ride. I want people to feel drained when they come out of this. I want them to feel exhausted, because it is just so intense and shocking at times. Primate is shocking, extreme, immense fun.
You need to see Primate in theaters so that you can have someone to scream with, someone to hold on to, and maybe even hide under, quite honestly. I think people are going to be blown away by this film. I think people's expectations are going to be really preceded. I think people have no idea what they're in for, and it's quite a roller coaster of a ride that once you're on, there's no getting off until the end. Working with Ben was incredible. I mean, in the world of AI and visual effects, we did this all old school with practical effects. So I'm really proud of everyone involved. Miguel, who plays Ben, for creating an incredible chimp. There were many tough scenes. I actually think most of the scenes were tough, but I think that the water scenes were extremely difficult. That was 3 weeks of water work. All day in the pool. Also, the closet scene was really tough. That was my first or second day of filming, so we went right into it. Primate is bananas.
The actor who plays Ben, his name is Miguel. He was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I'm telling you, he was method chimp. He really made it happen. He really made the audience believe him presenting himself as a chimpanzee, as Ben, with all practical effects. And his physicality, his movements, his coordination was really incredible. And for me, this is Johannes, our director. Well, Johannes would really add more drool and more blood to the chimp, which was way beyond what I expected. It's like, more blood, more drool. And so I'm just completely covered in it. And so that experience was the first time for me. It was a lot of fun. What you see in the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about after you watch it. I'd like the audience members really to think about what it was like to experience that silence and stepping into a deaf character's shoes. And those silent moments, I think, were really powerful. And I'm very grateful for them because I think it gave the audience a different take and a different experience. So I'd really like to welcome the audience to my world. Absolutely. Everything that happens, really, as you have to make quick decisions as a character. You know, should I save my family? Should I attack? Fight or flight? You know, it's really unpredictable, the behavior of a chimpanzee. So you have to make these split-second decisions. But the most important thing as a father is to make the sacrifices. And so I have to put my family first. It's important to watch Primate in a theater because we've been separate for so long. We really need to get together, have a deaf, hard of hearing, and hearing audience all together, and simultaneously share that experience under one roof. Watch this together on one screen and share that fear.
You know, Ben is one of those true great villains that I don't think we've seen in a while, probably more associated with somebody like Jason or Freddy, and just brings a whole new level to it with his unique capabilities as a chimpanzee and in a way that we haven't really seen before. And it's just a great collective thrill ride. I think hopefully afterwards there's like a release that it was so tense kind of throughout, but then, you know, just a lot of fun in that release and just the collective experience of just being scared together. Hopefully just a really visceral, intense ride that grabs you from the get-go and doesn't let go until the end. You know, and just thrills you throughout with a lot of unexpected scares and some real great gore. It was an incredible journey. You know, we had this premise that we wanted to, you know, create these effects practically, and to do that, we partnered with this amazing performer who really brought the suit to life. So it was a combination of, you know, the practical effects team, this performer, and then obviously Johannes who wrote and directed this. And it was those kind of like three elements that really brought him to life and put on screen what hopefully is going to terrorize a lot of people.
It was sort of a long journey for Johannes, who wrote the script, I think, 12 years ago. It came across my desk a few years ago, and it was just such a genius idea. I just think it was an exciting opportunity to do something kind of different and practical. You know, I think a lot of people thought, well, you would have to do a CG chimp, and we thought, well, let's kind of do an old school movie where we did everything practical. We got a guy in a suit, we built an animatronic suit, and it was just kind of fun to kind of do something kind of old school like that. We were so fortunate to have him. Like, when we offered it, we thought, no, there's no way he'll do this. And we were surprised. He read it, he loved the material, he really responded to the story. I think he also responded to the fact that, you know, the script wasn't written for a character that was deaf. And I think he appreciated that we went to him just because we just thought he was the right guy for the role. And then once he said yes, then we made some minor adjustments and really worked it for him. But yeah, I mean, we're really privileged to have a guy of his caliber working on our movie. I think just a bloody good time. I mean, we definitely don't pull any punches, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, I think they're going to find that it's just completely gruesome and a lot of fun. It is the ultimate horror movie. It is scary, fun, great backstories of all the characters. So you really kind of bond with these characters before they get completely annihilated. But you're going to have a lot of fun, for sure. Bringing him to the big screen was really cool. That was really John and Walt Hamada's idea to sort of go with the practical, you know, effects and put a man in a chimp suit, and it was their idea, and it ultimately paid off for sure.